Herd immunity is something that the UK government talked about several times in press conferences. They've completely denied this now and completely U-turned on this policy, it seems. But I do have the videos up on this channel. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see the inconsistencies in what the British government have said. However, there are some countries out there that are still pursuing this idea. And it's not just the poor countries either that have no other option. This is from the Netherlands. This is the website governement.nl, official government website of the Netherlands. The approach to tackling coronavirus in the Netherlands. Main points of the Dutch approach. Maximum control of the virus. On the 16th of March, Prime Minister Mark Rutte gave a television address in which he explains the Netherlands' approach to tackling coronavirus. The Netherlands' approach is essentially to control the virus as much as possible. That should lead to a controlled spread among the groups least at risk. The aim is to stop nursing homes, home care services, hospitals, and above all, intensive care units becoming overwhelmed, and to make sure they always have enough capacity to help people that need it the most. So the most important bit highlighted from here is that should lead to a controlled spread among the groups least at risk, right? So essentially what they're saying, they want younger people, healthier people, people with strong immune systems, essentially to get this virus in a controlled way. They don't want it just to run rampant and overwhelm the ICU units. But this is the policy of the Dutch government. Now, on another page, it has this Dutch approach to coronavirus. Why does the Dutch approach to coronavirus different from the approach taken in other countries? The World Health Organization has issued international guidelines which each country is applying to its own situation. The Dutch approach centres on controlling the spread of the virus as much as possible. All the advice and measures announced in the Netherlands are aiming at doing this. Many of the measures are in line with those taken by neighbouring countries. So, off the bat of it, it doesn't seem like a completely mad thing. I actually ultimately think the UK government will adopt a herd immunity policy. I think they're very PR driven, right? I think politicians in the Netherlands are probably more honest. Like, it's just a media game in the UK. I mean, they talked about this a lot. It seems to be the only policy we actually have got. I mean, they said they're not doing herd immunity now, but no one says what the actual plan is. Is it a vaccine? Do they just want to literally stifle the virus? So, I mean, the R0 now is meant to be about 1.6. So it's gone down from the average person infecting something like 2.6 other people. I think the R0 was about 2.6, and now it's gone down to 0.6. So each person that gets the virus, in theory, is spreading it to fewer and fewer people. So the virus should be stifling out. However, the other policies of the UK government aren't consistent with that. We're still not stopping flights from China, from Iran, from Italy, from the US, these other epicenters. We're not stopping those flights. Now, in South Korea, they are. Everybody that comes from a external country into South Korea gets screened for coronavirus. Now, 20% of new cases in South Korea are coming just off people coming off planes from other countries. So when the UK government says there's no point in screening people because you won't pick anybody up, I mean, in South Korea, 20% of their new cases are coming from foreign nationals and also South Koreans returning to their home nation who are infected with coronavirus. So it doesn't really make sense. We're just going to stifle this virus out and it's going to go away, because otherwise they would have stopped the flights. They would have stopped the flights a long time ago, or at least screen people who are coming in. They're not doing that. So I don't see they're going to stifle this thing out. Vaccine is a very, very long time away. We will be in a severe, not a recession, a depression by the time that vaccine makes it to the market. We're well over a year away. If that's best case scenario, everything goes well, the clinical trials go well, there's no mishaps, you're still talking well over a year away. I think this repeat on and off lockdown isn't going to survive a year. It's very convenient. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I mean, I try to stay away from the conspiracy theories, but call me a conspiracy theorist. It's very convenient how Boris Johnson now has COVID-19. Dominic Cummings now has COVID-19. Health Secretary Matt Hancock now is down with COVID-19, right? That's very convenient. If you wanted to push the idea of a health immunity, what better than people that everybody looks up to? Well, at least most people look up to Boris Johnson. I don't think Dominic Cummings is a bit of a weird guy. I mean, I look up to him. I really respect him. I think he's a great guy, but I know a lot of people don't. But you've got all these top players down with COVID-19. It's easy for Boris Johnson to say, look, hey, let's just do this herd immunity thing, right? Because I've had it. It's actually not that bad. It's very mild for most people. If you wanted to push herd immunity, what better than the leader actually getting themselves? I mean, David Frost has got it as well, right? Like chief negotiator for the Brexit extension, or get a deal done with the EU. He's got it. So now if you need to extend the EU, what better reason than saying we had to extend because the chief negotiator was down with COVID-19. Now, the plan is, like, they still have the same plan in Holland, right? They're flattening the curve because they don't want the healthcare services in Holland, same as we don't want the NHS to be overloaded. I think what's going to happen is once in like another month or so, you know, they're talking sort of like April to mid-April, late April, potentially ending this lockdown when the curve's low enough and few enough people have the virus, unlock, and then just try and let a controlled burn of the virus through the population. And, you know, we have these field hospitals now. We have the huge one at London Excel. They've built one up here near me, where I am, Milton Keynes. They're dotting these things around the country. So the healthcare services, the NHS, has a lot more capacity now than it did a few months ago. But I don't know, just call me a conspiracy theorist. I still think we're going for the herd immunity because they're saying they're not going to do herd immunity, which never believe the government, never believe anything the UK government says, right? Or if anything, no, you shouldn't believe anything the UK government says until it's officially been denied, right? It's probably a better way of doing it because just, you know, they constantly lie. So you can never take anything that Boris Johnson, the government, says at face value. What do you think about this herd immunity? I mean, they're saying they're not doing herd immunity, but they're not saying any other alternative. That leads me to believe they're probably just gonna, when the panic's over and people are just sick and tired of being in their house, they'll accept anything. They'll accept getting a virus that's got a 99.5% survival rate, right? Only 1 in 200 people roughly are going to die from it. People are going to go so mad in the house and what the hell, let's just get the virus, let's just get it out of the way, let's just do what the Dutch are doing. They seem more sensible, rational people than British people anyway. What do you think about this? Are we still pursuing herd immunity? I think it's probably going to happen. Boris has got it now, and he's just going to turn around and say, hey, look, I got it. It's a mild strain. Nothing to worry about. It's all jiggy. Crack on with herd immunity. There's no other plan. They don't have any other plan. Otherwise, they would have stopped the flights or at least screened people a long time ago. The vaccine's too far away. The vaccine will be useful at some point in the future, but it's too far away. The economy will just be nothing in over a year's time with these lockdowns. It's probably going to be in very, very poor shape. Anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Are we going for herd immunity? Are we just going to follow one of our oldest allies, the Dutch, down this method? Or has Boris got a better plan? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. Jason from Liberty Bunkers sign off, and I'll see you in the next video.